Hey, and welcome to Dads with Coffee. Keith is out today on some other business. Keelan has surgery scheduled, so I brought in Rodger today. So,
Yeah,
Rodger, how you doing today?
good, good. Thanks for inviting me. Hi, everyone.
Absolutely. Rodger's a longtime watcher,
Yep,
first time guest.
that's right. That's
If
right.
we're running the Dan Patrick show, you'd have to give me height and weight.
Wait. 5'4". That's all. Stop right there.
I'm not doing anything else after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to listen to the Dan Patrick show when it was on at a time I could listen to it, and everybody, all the callers that would call in, be long time listener, first time guest, 6'1", 220. I mean, for some reason they always had to give their height and weight. I don't know why that was important.
Yeah.
To me, that is as unnecessary as a 4 gig hard drive. So
right. Exactly. You can put one paper on it.
My first computer, I'm a little older than you are, but my first computer that I bought was a 64 kilobyte memory computer.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And I think it had, what did they have? The 8088 board in it.
Yep. So you're talking late 80s model. Was this around the
Yeah, oh yeah, it was college.
Yeah, that's
yeah, it was in college.
Yep. Because I started building in the early 90s, building my own. And
yep.
I fried 3 motherboards before I finally got one built.
my very first one, I'm trying to remember if this is the one I went to college with or not, but I had I don't think I did. I think I had a different one when I went to college, but I had an IBM PC Junior.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was the first one that I ever had.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I look back on that now and go, how did I accomplish anything on that? I could pull out the old Royal typewriter and go faster than I could.
My dad had a Commodore 64.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And he told me that in order to get the games to work, he actually had to get a magazine that had the code, write the code, then play the game. And it would take him, a week just to write the code to play one simple game.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I would do that. I would write code. I didn't call it that then, but and you would run those, I'd figure it out. I would set up basic if then things, and we were all doing it. We were all at the time writing we were trying to put Dungeons and Dragons into a deal. We'd all played, what was it? What was it called? Hero Quest?
Hero Quest? Yeah, I played that.
Yep. Where you were the prince or something. You had to go fight the dragon on the arcades.
Yep.
We were all like, man, I want to do that on the computer. And so, we'd color 00605, comma 005, and nope, that's not the right color. Erase that. And then
keep trying it.
It'd take a week to write anything that would and play for like 5 minutes. You'd be like, okay, so I made it down the hallway 6 steps. Okay, now what?
Yeah, exactly. And then debugging it, because you don't have what you have now to debug, and so you would have to go line by line,
hand,
to figure out where's the semicolon that I missed. And just keep going
because
through.
You'd be in the middle of the choices because it wasn't graphic based. It was all just reading based.
That's right.
Back when we could read.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a Gen X. That's a Gen X statement right there. Back when we used to read. Southern Baptists used to read, but now we just listen.
Yes.
You'd be clicking along. All of a sudden, it would give system error line so and so.
Yeah.
So we'd have to so we have to go back. We count the lines.
Where am I? Figure out where it's
at. And find, like you said, find that one little semicolon, that one little parentheses that we didn't put in. The whole thing breaks down because a one parentheses isn't where it's supposed to be.
That's right. Exactly.
I learned a lot of spiritual lessons out of that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got one thing not where it's supposed to be, it can break down the whole system.
Yeah. Exactly right. Yep. Or a conditional, and it's the wrong choice.
It's the wrong choice.
Yep. And you have it set up wrong.
Or you set it up and you didn't give the opportunity to make the right choice.
That's right. Yep.
It's like, oh, whoops.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That happens a lot nowadays with new programmers. They just they do it backwards when they're writing an if statement. And so it's well, look what happened. You asked it a question. It gave you the wrong answer.
I go in and I don't even know what the new stuff is. C++ was the last one I was aware of. And I know they've gotten 42 generations after that now. But
oh yeah,
you know, I'd go in and I'd look at source code and I'd be like, wow, because HTML5 came out and I started I started reading up on 4, and then 5 came out and it was like, okay, I'm done with that. But HTML4 was out, and I would read up on it, trying to figure out, because I'd like to write my own code sometimes, or I would want to know. I'd want to know, how do I go in to adjust something,
right?
And so I would look at it, and you know, they'd have all of these things, and I'd go back and I'd look at the page, then I'd open up the source code, and I'm like, okay, the order of things in source code did not make sense to my brain compared to what I'm seeing on the screen. Why is that? If you all don't know, Rodger introduced you. Rodger's a programmer, gamer, tech advisor. So tell us a little about. People may not know who you are. He belongs to Angela. By the way.
I'm Angela's husband.
Have you ever? How often do you get introduced that way these days?
Every day. Every day they go, "Oh, hey, Angela's husband. Hey." Most time, yeah. I'm usually in the back. I'm hiding.
You're up in the crow's eagle's nest up there.
I love it up there. I stay up there and hide. So if you want to talk to me, just yell.
Just holler. You'll see a hand come up above the screen up there.
Exactly. I'm an instructor. I teach programming at WGU, and so I do this online. And I have about 20 years of programming experience, so I've seen it all. And it is. We have a.
Says it's not live on Facebook. I don't know.
Okay.
It says it is. It says a check mark. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
If I only had a producer for the show, it would help. But I don't have a producer for the show.
I guess
somebody with systems understanding. Anyway,
who could that be?
I don't know. So back to Angela's husband. So when you were in the military, was she Rodger's wife?
Yes, she was.
Yeah. So how's that swappo changeo been for you?
Different. Different. Because everybody knew her as my wife. Even when I taught at Crowley ISD, they knew her as, oh, that's Rodger's wife, and now it totally did a swap.
Now you're in the background.
I'm in the background.
That's
and actually I kind of like it,
But you liked it.
Yeah. I'm not,
excellent.
I don't have a lot of people that know who I am or ask me questions, and so I just kind of just keep in the back.
You just run your systems analysis in the background.
Yep, exactly. Usually fix issues before people find them, and then move on.
That's right. The best systems analyst is the one that nobody knows, because everything gets fixed and nobody calls you.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Oh man, I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to.
Gonna drop some knowledge. Here we go.
So I teach my students, and or even coaching new people in technology. The best technicians only work 2 hours out of the day. The rest of the time, they're doing what's called the IT shuffle, looking busy through the time. But they work 2 hours at a time because they're proactive. They see things that are about to happen before it happens.
Right.
Fix it, move on.
Not 2 hours at a chunk.
Yeah, but exactly.
Roughly
2 hours
across the day.
Yeah.
But that's kind of goes back to that old story about the guy who came out to fix a water leak.
Yeah.
And the bill came in. It was like $1,000. They said, you weren't here very long. And he said, okay, well, it was $5 for the part. And he goes, what's this done? He said, knowing where the part needs to go and how to fix it. He goes, but it's that whole adage. It's just like, you may not take long to do it, but you're on site, ready, with the knowledge, and you can get it done fast, which for those of us on our side of the problem are thankful that it's fast.
Yes, exactly. And because that's the key in anywhere with technology. You don't want it to be wasting money. You want it to be helping make money or being proactive, especially in the corporate world. And for a long time, IT was considered the redheaded stepchild, because it just, people thought we're just putting money into it and, you know,
Right.
losing money out of
Right.
it and not seeing exactly what's going on, you know.
That would be those that weren't using the technology.
That's right.
Those of us who use the technology understand completely the value of said technology.
That's right. That's right. And that's all it is. It's just education, knowing what technology does for you.
I will say that I think some of the struggle comes because, you know, the Industrial Revolution happened.
Yeah.
And it sped things up, but made them very efficient.
Yeah.
And it changed the worker and the workplace, but not necessarily an ongoing changing system.
Right. Yeah.
Information and technology revolution came about 30 years ago.
That's right.
And we're now at a place where I just bought a computer for my wife. Mm-hmm. Bought the computer, brought it home. It's excellent. It's obsolete.
Yeah.
And obsolescence is something that I think is difficult for a large portion of our audience to really get.
Yeah.
Because they've had the same puke green refrigerator that they bought in 1974.
Yep.
And it's still running.
Yeah.
But why doesn't my computer last me more than 2 years?
Yeah.
And then it's got so much wrong with it, I can't keep it going. I'm not going to get into the argument of apples and just shut up talking to me. But because there's going to be some guy, Mac guy out there. Well, I've had this Mac since, you know, it first came out and it still runs just the same. You Windows people can't seem to figure that. I'm like, stop.
I can tell you.
Is there value to that? Is there value to that though?
And the reason why, and I can even answer that. I can do the Apple argument too. So the reason why, let's start with first.
Even though you're a PC guy.
Yeah, even though I'm a PC guy. The reason why a system only lasts 6 months to a year before it becomes obsolete is because the hardware that's in that system is always obsolete. It's always behind programming and software. Software is always pushing the boundary. How much can we get it? How much can we do with this hardware? How much can we do? And then they push it even further. Once they hit that goal, they
like
push
an
it
18-year-old in a Dodge Charger.
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
How much can I push this engine before it blows up?
Before it blows up. Yep, exactly the same thing. Now, let's go to the Apple. The Apple is on I'll just go ahead and drop knowledge. Unix-based system. Unix-based system is a lot harder to write a program for than it is on a Windows system. And so majority of people are using Windows because there's more apps, more applications.
You can do more with it.
Yeah, that are out there. So there are systems where you can, an application that you can get on Windows that you cannot get on Mac. And the reason why is because Mac doesn't update. And that's the reason why Macs last longer is because their apps applications aren't pushed as fast as a Windows unit.
It's because they're not as good.
That's right. Hey, I didn't do that. I just got that completely neutral, but I agree with you. Yes. I'm trying to get rid of my iPhone, and my wife wants me to keep my iPhone.
Well, I just got an iPhone.
Yeah.
You know, my wife now says I'm an iClone. But, you know, whatever.
Me too.
But, you know, now I'm all blue in everybody's text messages, apparently.
Yeah, because now you're on the Apple network.
I'm on the Apple network. I'm sending iMessages instead of text messages now, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't understand. But anyway, I thought I'd give it a shot, you know. When I have it for 36 months, when that's done, I'll decide whether I want to stick with it or go back.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
You know,
and I give Angela a hard time. I am an Android developer, an Android instructor.
Right?
Why do I have an iPhone?
Why do I have an iPhone?
Yeah.
But you know, but this concept of it wearing out, or apparently wears out so fast.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's hard for those that are so used to longevity of products to understand. And we battle this sometimes in budgetary worlds in church life.
Yeah.
Is that, you know, we need to plan for 2 or 3 year replacement scheduling.
Yeah.
Is what I understand.
Yeah.
You know, with all the computers that we operate and we run.
Yep.
You know, and so I think sometimes it's hard for people to grasp onto it. It's not an ignorance thing. It's just a time frame and a culture thing.
That's right.
But I think it's hard for people to grasp. Okay, we just spent $2,000 on that.
Yeah.
And in 3 years, we're going to spend it again.
That's right.
Potentially.
Yep, exactly. And that's without inflation.
I know.
Yeah.
And there are, and to be honest, there are positions in our body, in our staff, that can get away with the $600 computer.
Yep.
There's some positions that need the $2,000 computer.
That's right.
I don't need the video pusher and the slide pusher to be the one lagging.
That's exactly right.
So we spent the high dollar video card.
Yeah.
We put the high dollar one in, had the 4 HDMIs in the back.
Yes.
And our tech guy at the time was like, I spent as much on that video card alone as I did the computer that I bought.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much you spent, but now video cards are around $1,500 to $3,000.
It was $800. We spent $800 on the card, and it wasn't the top of the line card.
So yeah.
But we spent $800 on the card, on just the video card.
Video card, yeah, exactly.
It was kind of one of those semi-build systems.
Yeah,
it's like we could make some choices, but it all came to us pre-done.
Oh, that's okay. And
then it was through Dell.
Okay, and then you can just upgrade the parts that you.
Yeah,
want.
we started with the base and said, well, I need this video card and I need this memory and blah blah, and so that it just comes to us built. It's Alienware.
That's a game. That's
the first time it went to screensaver and the alien popped up on the TVs in the worship center, it really freaked everybody out.
That would have been funny.
It was on a Sunday morning.
Yeah. Oh,
it was on a Sunday morning. It was before service, and they were doing something, and it went to screensaver something, and it's like 10 minutes before service. I think they had to reboot or something. And two alien heads showed up on the TV, and everybody's just like,
"Whoa, hold on!
Revelation! Where is? I read this last night. Where is this?
It's happening!
End times are here."
Yeah. Oh, that would have been. I wish I was there. That would have been so funny to see.
But man, they were just they were like, okay, I've always wondered what the Antichrist looks like. This must be it. I don't know. It was, it is crazy. It is crazy times for about 6 minutes. And then
how did you handle that? Were you in the middle of a sermon?
No, it was before service.
Okay, it was before service.
It was just before service.
Okay, all right.
Oh no, we'd have been flipping over to Revelation 20. Boom.
Here we go.
Had it been, in the middle.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you just got to roll with it.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to roll with it because, as some would say, the devil's in the wires.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yep.
He's in the details and the wires.
Yep.
Apparently, that want to operate mics.
Yeah. Yep.
That work before and then don't work in the middle. Why? I don't know. The devil's in the wires.
Right. Yeah.
But and so I think we've moved into, and help me understand this a little bit, out of the technology world. We've moved into a disposable time.
Yeah.
And there's no, and not to be all tree huggery, but e-waste is a problem.
Oh yeah.
Because it doesn't break down. Its half-life is 14 million years.
That's right.
And and so we're creating this problem of, we don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
But we know if I want to stay up to date, even if I push it out 4 or 5 years before I'm doing replacements.
Right.
Okay. By the time from the birth of a child to the graduate in high school, that's 4 to 7 just in their lifetime. You have more than one child, and so the computer systems, it's creating this disposable nature.
Right.
Do you see that becoming a mentality? Did our disposable nature in our culture create the technological disposable concept, or did technology's obsolescence create a disposable mindset in our people? Is it a both and, or did you think one maybe led to another? Okay. That's a deep question for coffee. You might want to sip some coffee before answering that question.
That's a good idea, because I'm going to be here for a minute. I need a whiteboard to explain this.
Hey, I can walk you over to the whiteboard.
Okay.
It's not Wednesday. It's Whiteboard Wednesdays, Rodger.
Oh, sorry.
This is Thursday. You're on the wrong day. Peace out, baby.
Okay, so let's take it back to 80s and 90s when the computers were, the personal computer was just becoming a thing. That computer was, from what I understand, was super expensive to buy off the shelf.
Yes, made of dinosaur blood.
Yep, and so exactly. So a lot of people, didn't jump on, right away. So
not too many early adopters.
Exactly. And so when the computers, it started in the 90s, they started getting bigger hard drives. So like when I started working at CompUSA, that was my first high school job. CompUSA.
It was my favorite store ever.
I love that store. It
was my favorite. And they had one called Computer Superstore.
Yes.
Or something.
Yes. Yeah.
I could like walk in and spend all day.
Exactly.
At the time.
Yep.
Just
That's how I got a job. It's because I would go up there and play the games, and
wait. They've come out with a 14.4 modem.
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
I'm stuck on the 128.
Exactly.
Trying to get on CompuServe.
That's right. And so hard drives started getting bigger. 10 gigs, was huge at the time.
10 megabyte was huge at the time. Yeah. Of course, I'm a little older, so you may have come in at the 10 gig moment. I was like 1 megabyte chip. I'll never use 1 megabyte.
1 megabyte. Yeah. I said the same thing about 10 gigs. Oh, that's all I need. That's all I need is 10 gigs.
My sermon document, I think, was a megabyte that I did, just wrote some notes and it turned out to be it's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
And then at the same time, this is when internet, the World Wide Web began. AOL, you got mail, all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so people were starting to get online because they could start connecting to people. So they started buying computers. Computers at that point were starting to become cheaper. Okay.
Right.
Nowadays, if you just want a basic computer, you can spend $300 and get that's almost $1,100. That's more than a basic computer.
It was free.
Yeah.
As long as I,
keep the contract.
Yes, it's free.
It's free.
But I mean, this thing is 14 times more than my first computer was.
That's right.
In power.
Yeah.
It's stupid crazy.
Yeah. And so with the technologies and everybody started connecting, at that point the prices started dropping because they started making mass production of everything. And I think it just became a natural build just to dispose of
bigger, better, faster.
Yep. Of disposing the e-waste.
It's an insatiable appetite we have for bigger, better, faster.
That's right. Exactly. Now, and there's organizations out there that will take old computers, they'll take old phones, they'll take old stuff because they're putting these in low income schools and giving them a computer that they may not have one.
Right.
And so they're all out there around, but that's kind of a cool way to use it, to reuse the stuff. But it's just e-waste is it's bad.
Absolutely. And like my wife's computer that died, we've had it 8 years maybe.
Yeah.
It just finally gave up the ghost. And it may be serviceable, it may be usable, but I mean, outside of me bringing it to you and bugging you about it, getting it fixed or checked out is halfway to a new computer.
That's right. Exactly.
So that is also creating some of that issue. Is it's like, okay, I can spend $300 or $400 getting it looked at by a technician,
right? Which
I don't deny, but I'm not guaranteed it's really going to work well after that, because they may just come back and say, this is beyond.
You can't be fixed. Yeah.
And then I've wasted, so to speak, that money.
Yep.
And it's like,
and that's the hardest thing for a technician to say. When they're looking at it, they're like,
because they want to fix it.
They want to fix it, and they're like, I can't. Yeah.
Or they look at it. I actually had one go, when did you buy this? Well, it's 6 years old, on automatic, and boom.
Yeah.
They don't even look at it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And I think that may bug some people. And that, I think, partly is a generational thing.
Yeah.
Which I think sometimes in the customer service side of the tech business, I think we lack that. I mean, looking at you, Best Buy.
Exactly.
Because they just, I've sat in the line and I've watched some of their agents, as they call themselves, speak to the elderly.
Yeah.
And it's not always pretty.
Yep.
And, it's like, we have to understand, one, it's a different language.
That's right.
With a different mentality. And we don't know, they may have spent, I'm not too jokingly, may have spent half their retirement or a whole month's Social Security to get this thing.
Yeah.
And now you're just telling them it's trash to go buy another one. And for somebody who we're all on a fixed income, but the concept of being on that fixed income without the ability to generate extra, it's hard, I think, for them to comprehend that. I'm not sure that the tech world understands that sometimes.
Yeah, and I went through that. I was that guy at CompUSA because I was 16, to 19, and I was seeing everybody was coming in bringing their problems in, and I was either fixing them or tell them no. Well, you get to a point where you see the same pattern over and over, and you're just like, no, this can't be fixed. And the problem is that technician who immediately knows that that this can't be fixed. He's got to.
It's the way that you say that.
You got to know passion. Okay, explain why this.
Because they need to know.
Yeah, and show empathy. Because this is their baby. This is
right.
It's not like you or like when I got married and had 12 computers sitting in my closet that I no longer have. Thanks, Angela. Yeah. And so it's just a passion to teach it, because you have to, in the technology world, you have to teach. There's always going to be someone who doesn't know and doesn't understand. And if you can take the time to help them understand why this is not going to work, that transition of telling them this is dead is a lot easier.
That is exactly, from a spiritual perspective, that's exactly how we have to go about, sharing the gospel.
Yeah.
You can't just walk up to somebody today and go, okay, you're dead, you're out. Here's what you do.
Yeah.
Exactly. You have to explain, here's what the problem is. Here's why you have this problem.
Yeah.
Here is a solution. You can live with what you got, or here's a solution if you are interested in that.
Yes, exactly.
And it's the same.
Here's your solution. Go Navy.
Whatever. Oh man.
Hey, but you're conflicted on that deal.
I am,
because you served both.
I served both. I was in the Navy for 2 years, and I retired out of the Army. I had a lot more fun in the Army, so I don't know what the Navy retirement looks like. I never made chief.
Right.
I was a sergeant.
That's right.
What's the difference between an officer and a chief?
Common sense.
Common sense. Nothing.
Obviously, the chief has common sense.
Yeah,
Is that what you're
exactly.
saying?
Yeah.
You were not an officer and a gentleman.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But so we've technology is where you live, play, eat, sleep.
It's my world.
That's why I got you your special business cards.
That's exactly. Oh, it's awesome. I should have brought one, but I've handed them out. I put them in those little fish bows.
IT administrator.
That's right. Yeah.
But we appreciate all that you do up here, and taking care of our IT stuff and our video stuff on Sundays, and we keep you. We've got you a closet over there.
That's right.
Full of your stuff, and
a closet upstairs. Half that upstairs has computer stuff all over
it.
So,
that's right. So helping us out for sure. So, but hey, I appreciate you coming in and stepping in for us. And
not a problem. Yeah, this was fun. This was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a fun time.
I may have to just take up your offer on that producer. That way I can just give Keith a hard time.
That's right. That's right. Again, behind the screen, right?
Exactly. Behind the screen.
That's right.
I can make comments.
That's right. He's got a body for radio.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. Yeah, a lot of my students ask me to turn my camera on when I talk to them, and nope.
They're like, no. Trust me, you like the static picture you're seeing now.
Exactly. That's right. You don't need me to look at me when I'm looking at code. Yeah, exactly. What did you do? That's most of my questions. What are you doing?
Yeah. You're like, why did you just do what you just did?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Dealing with college kids.
Oh yeah, they're
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
They're fun.
Good times. Woo, good
Yeah.
times.
I just want to graduate. Yeah.
Yeah, I really want you to graduate too.
Exactly. How soon can I get you out?
But apparently we're going to see each other again next
Yeah,
semester.
that's right. Because guess what?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it because most of my students have a 4-week project.
Yeah.
And so what really cracks me up is when they come in.
4 minutes ahead.
Yeah, they come in 4 minutes before their deadline
Oh,
of their term's over, and they say, "Hey, what's the quickest way to get this project done?" It's like you're going to pay for this.
You're going to pay for another 4 weeks. That's
yeah,
the quickest way.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
you're not going to finish this in a week.
Yeah, there's no way you can get this done
Yeah.
in the time you have left. So
that's most of the conversations I had this week because it usually ends
Oh
the
my
last
gosh.
week. And so I always have the hard conversation. I was like, sorry, but
Sorry.
yeah, it's not
Try
gonna
again
happen.
in April.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's start over. And maybe if you talk to me, weekly, we can get you,
You know,
through.
If you'll check in,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
might help. Yeah. That whole responsibility thing.
Yeah. And that's the thing about WGU is it's all on the student.
Oh
you
yeah.
know,
So do you have mostly college aged, or do you have the adults coming in?
So most of what I have are the working adults. So it's ones that either sometimes there's the younger ones that just went straight to work and now they're wanting to do the college online, and then I also have adults our age that are like, okay, I am now going to make a
Career transition.
Career transition.
Because tech is where the money is.
Exactly. Yep. And so and it works because my uncle, after I originally started at WGU, he contacted me and said, hey, he was a ultrasound tech and he wanted to move from being in the medical field to being in the IT. And so he talked to me. We talked for a couple of weeks, and then he took off to work at WGU. He finished a 4-year degree in a year.
Because it's self-paced.
That's right. And so he was just like, he wasn't sleeping. He was just going through. And now he's working for GM as an analyst. So, and he's happy.
Making 6 figures.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
That's how you get it done.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
All right. Well, hey, you guys have a great day. If you don't have a church home, we'd love to see you online or in person this Sunday. If you do, go be at your place. If not, we'd love to have you. Church. Rodger, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being with us today.
Thank you. This was
fun. We got to have you back.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll take the table out and add a third chair. And
yeah.
We'll have 3 Stooges with coffee. So,
And you can see the debate over Army